again out there. I'm Winston Bishop, and I'm here to give you an informative speech today. Have you ever wanted to slay a dragon? Perhaps you want to amass great wealth. Maybe you'd like to stomp out evil. Maybe you'd like to be evil. These are all just some of the things that you can do while playing the role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons. Today, I'm going to go over some things that you need to know in order to be a playable character within this game. The first thing you need to know is that you need 4 elements to play this game. The first, 5 friends. 1 to be the dungeon master or storyteller, and 4 to be playable characters within the story. You will also need a series of books. These books can be found at the Wizards of the Coast website or in any bookstore around the world. Player's Handbook contains information within it to help you as a player know the rules and the abilities of your character. It is set up like a reference book. Start at the beginning, work your way through it. It'll teach you how to make a character. The other book you'll need is a Dungeon Master's Guide. This guide helps the DM or storyteller to tell the story. Set it up in such a way that it can be used to make it fun for you, the players. You will also need a set of dice, like these, and a character sheet, like this one, or paper and pencil. These are used to keep track of all the information that pertains to your character. Your name and other information can be found on here. The Player's Handbook is a great book. We use this book in order to, I said before, make your character. The first thing that you have to do when making a character is decide what race you're going to be. You have several races to be initially. There are hundreds throughout the D&D realms, but we're just going to look at these today. You have a human, a halfling, a gnome, a half-orc, a dwarf, half-elf, and elf. Each race has its own special abilities and some flaws. For example, your halfling, very short. Can't jump real high and grab stuff up high, but he can hide really well. Your dwarf spent much of his beginning part of his life underground. That enabled him to be able to see really well in dark. Your human learns very quickly, has the ability to learn things faster than some of the other races. Your elves have a very long lifespan. We then move on to player classes. This is your job, what you're going to do, what you're going to be as a character. The first is a barbarian. He is a basic, tough fighter. He just goes in, goes crazy, and kills things. Not real smart, not real tactical, really just what we call a beat stick. You then have your bard. Your bard is your performer. He is a showman. He doesn't always get right into the fight, but he helps the others feel good about themselves and tells about the deeds. He's really a showy character. He can fight, but he's more for show. At least that's my opinion. You have your cleric. Your cleric is a fighter of types. He's a religious character. He has spells handed down from his god, as well as he has the ability to heal the party. Very useful in any campaign. Your druid. This is nature's fighter. Has some magical abilities and some abilities to fight as well. Very in tune with nature. So those of you who love nature might want to consider playing one of these type of characters. It's really kind of neat what you can do with them. Your basic fighter. Heavily armored, heavily weaponized, go in and fight. Tactical, yes or no, that is entirely up to you. A good basic character to play for your first time playing D&D. They're pretty straightforward. Your monk, another type of fighter, but as you can see, they have no armor, and only a staff and a sling for a weapon. They don't believe in using weapons. Their hands and feet are their weapons. Very mobile, very agile, pretty cool character to play. Then you have your paladin. We call your paladin your holy roller. We call them this because they are your lawful good character. They have a high, high moral standing. They fight for their God. They have special abilities based on that, and they stomp out evil wherever it lies. They are a great character if you want to play something in this realm with a very high moral standard. Your ranger. Legolas and Aragorn on Lord of the Rings were rangers. They have some neat fighting ability. They have some tracking ability. They're very comfortable in the woods. Not so comfortable in the cities. They're really a good character if your DM is going to be putting you out in the wilderness. They're a pretty good all-around character in general. Your rogue. Probably one of the most important characters of any D&D campaign is your rogue. This is the person that's going to find the traps so that you don't fall into them, open the locked doors, save your butt when you're about to die by stabbing someone in the back for you that was about to kill you, and obviously they love to find the gold. Your sorcerer is a pretty good magic user for those of you who haven't played a magic user before. Their spells are very simple, the mechanics of it are very easy. These are a lot easier to play than a wizard. As you all know, wizards, from watching Harry Potter and many other movies, have to study their spells. They're not really strong fighters, but they're pretty good to have around. All of the stats and information about these type of characters are found inside the player's handbook. All their abilities, all their skills, everything that you'll need to know about playing one of these type of characters is in that book. There's also a section in there about your character sheet. It'll go over each section of the sheet, what you put in there, and how you use it. There's a section for your weapons and your armor. We put it on the sheet here so that it's easy to reference, so you don't always have to open up the book and look. There's a section for your physical abilities, your strength, your dexterity, your constitution, you know, how easily you get sick, your wisdom, and your intelligence. There's a section over here for your skills. That's, you know, your climbing, your running, your horseback riding, your swimming. You put down numbers here based on what the book tells you, and that'll tell you how well you can do certain things, like how good your balance is. You have hit points and armor class. Your armor class is how much armor you're wearing, how much protection you have to keep people from hitting you with weapons. Hit points is how many times you can get hit before you're dead. It's pretty basic. The player's handbook goes over each of these skills as well as a thing called feats in detail. Tells you what each skill is, what it can be used for. And then there's something really neat called feats. Feats are your special abilities that you can do as a character. Things like fight with 2 swords, shoot 2 arrows in a half a second, be able to shoot in a mix of people and hit just the one person that you're trying to aim for and not have to worry about hitting anyone else. Be able to run long, long distances, hold your breath for long periods of time. All of those things are covered inside the player's handbook. These are the dice you use. You have your 20-sided dice. It has 20 sides on it. This side will have a 20, the opposing side will have a 1. You use this dice primarily for most of your rolls. The other dice surrounding it are a 4-sider, 6-sider, 8-sider, 10-sider, a percentile die, and a 12-sider. These dice are used for damage. They usually are used with your weapons and your spells to know how many damage points you're doing on a character. The book will explain in detail about those as well, when to use them and how to use them. The book also goes over combat, how to actually fight when you have to. It does not go over role-playing. That is something that's completely up to you. How you pretend to be this character is your choice. The choices you make completely up to you. That is a small introduction of Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to thank Wizards of the Coast for providing the pictures, as well as ebids.net for providing the picture of the dice. These books, like I said, are available at any bookstore around the world. WizardsoftheCoast.com also has them for sale. Now this was just an introduction to one book, but there are hundreds of books out there to help you play this game. I hope you enjoyed the time.